9 taquitos. Can we get 3 bacon, 3 sausage, 3 potato, please? Oh, here we go. Oh, we got it. Look at us go. Thank you. You too. There we go.
On today's video, I'm talking about my Japanese microvan, the Subaru Sambar Dias II. We'll chat briefly about the history and technical specs. We'll do a walk around of this charming little vehicle with a Japanese car expert. And of course, we're going to take it to the streets. Believe it or not, while perfectly fit for anybody, the Sambar is truly the ultimate alpha male vehicle. First and foremost, my exporter agent Aaron, who bought this car for me, explains an important detail about the Sambar versus something sportier. Aaron, what's the most expensive vehicle you've ever driven?
Probably around $500,000.
What was it?
Just a couple of expensive Porsches. I've driven a lot of cars that are a bit under that, you know, $200,000-$300,000 cars, SLS Black Series.
I've never touched a $300,000 car.
Porsche Turbo 2s, 964 Turbo 2s.
How does the Subaru Sambar stack up to a Porsche Turbo 2?
It's high on style. Probably attract less men in it, to be honest. The only people that like Porsches are other guys that like Porsches for the most part.
And this is 100% true. Spend 10 times as much on a Corvette or a Porsche and you'll get a lot of dudes age 16 up talking to you. Park a 1969 Mustang, I promise you, every time you're going to be approached by an AARP member who's going to ask you if it's a 64 and a half. Of course, a 69 Mustang looks nothing like a 64 and a half Mustang, but I'm not sure if they don't know that or if they want to impress you by demonstrating that they know that the first Mustang is referred to as a 64 and a half. The Sambar, different story. Despite being tangerine testicle masculine, other men are unintimidated but curious by this fun little guy, so they'll ask about it. But women, they love it, they think it's cute, and they want to ride. I am being dead serious right now. Do not buy this van if you're in a relationship with a jealous woman. You will attract a ton of female attention. Rightfully so. A microvan is a subtle symbol of success. If you own one of these vans in the US, it almost certainly means that this is a second car for you. But if it's your only car, it probably means you live in a place where owning any car is a luxury. Either way, this van says, hey, I'm James. I lost high 4 figures on GameStop call options, but I could still cover my rent. This van says, I've never wanted to pay for OnlyFans and I've never needed to pay for eHarmony. This van says, I am fiscally sturdy. And I might like to It also says something about your lifestyle. These cars can't be sold in the US because they're incredibly dangerous for the occupants. More or less, you're driving an empty steel reserve can on wheels. If you get into a head-on collision with a Kia Soul, you'll be lucky if you're just in a wheelchair for an extended period of time. You are the living, breathing crumple zone of this car. If you're driving this car, it means you're confident, it means you have a sense of humor, and it means you don't give a frick. Maybe you could drive a Messerschmitt bubble car, but that's just plain goofy. The Sambar, on the other hand, is like the Tina Fey of vans. Silly, but kind of sexy in a weird way. This is my 1992 Subaru Sambar Dias II. You might be seeing a tiny van like this for the first time, but there are many, many models of microvans in Japan because they belong to a common defined class of vehicles known as Kei cars. Kei cars, including Kei vans, are subject to specific regulations. A Kei van must fit into a box that's approximately 11 feet long, that's 2 feet shorter than a Mazda Miata, no wider than 5 feet, no taller than 6.5 feet, maximum engine size can't exceed 660 cc, and a Kei vehicle can't have more than 64 horsepower. This is a totally foreign concept to us F-150 driving hamburger persons. Why would anyone drive a car this tiny? First, Kei cars in Japan qualify for lower taxes and insurance to encourage the use of smaller, more environmentally friendly vehicles. Additionally, Japan has narrow streets and tiny parking spaces that your Raptor wouldn't be able to fit into. But even though these cars are small, they are capable. Kei vans are used for a variety of purposes, from commercial delivery vehicles to just getting you and your family around town easily, and they do it so well because of their genius use of space-maximizing interior design. No car does it better than the Sambar. The Sambar is the longest running Kei van model, introduced in 1961 and still being produced today. The Sambar has always used a rear engine setup inspired by the iconic VW microbus, allowing for a cavernous interior and low center of gravity. It became an instant hit among small businesses and urban commuters alike. As the decades rolled on, Subaru refined the Sambar, enhancing its performance, efficiency, and versatility while staying true to its roots, from the classic VW bus-like designs of the 60s to the more modern shapes of the 80s. The Sambar evolved and adapted to the market. The early 90s saw the rise of the Sambar Dias II, possibly the greatest vehicle ever produced by Subaru. Possibly the greatest vehicle ever produced, period. The Sambar is geared towards passenger comfort while retaining the distinctive rear engine layout and spacious cargo deck, but the Dias II offered unmatched style, coupling a comfortable and spacious interior with dual sunroofs and dual sliding doors featuring manual windows. With its unique combination of retro charm and modern functionality, the Sambar Dias II was iconic. This is maybe the funnest car I've ever driven. I don't know why that is. It's kind of like a big go-kart. It looks cool as shit. And you're out here on the beach and you've got the double sunroof. Does not get any better. Take that Porsche Cabriolet Targa, because this thing is way cooler. Away we go. This is my 1992 Sambar, possibly one of the lowest mileage Sambar Dias II vans in the country with just under 10,000 miles. This Sambar has some great options too. It has on-demand four-wheel drive that automatically engages the front wheels when the rear wheels start slipping. And not only is this vehicle sexually turbocharged, but the fuel-injected four-cylinder engine is supercharged, meaning that this beast of a 660cc engine can produce a whopping 54 horsepower and a surging 51 foot-pounds of torque, bringing this alpha chariot to 60 miles per hour in 20 seconds flat. That's just 1/3 of a minute, and it probably won't take much longer than that for the Sambar to hit its top speed of 76 miles per hour, but I wouldn't know, because once you hit 60, this son of a bitch sounds like it's gonna fucking explode. Part of the problem is that it uses an electronically controlled variable transmission, which doesn't have gears per se. It just changes the gear ratio automatically to maximize efficiency. It sounds awesome, but it's really the only weak spot of this vehicle, as the ECVT is almost universally despised in the Sambar community, with many preferring the manual. The Sambar gets a reasonable 36 miles to the gallon, which isn't bad for a 1-ton supercharged four-wheel drive van that's about as aerodynamic as a sectional couch. It has a 0.5 drag coefficient, meaning that a classic Jeep Wrangler is about 10% more aerodynamic than this van. With its 40-liter tank, however, the Sambar can go nearly 400 miles without refueling. Depending on the context you're using it in, this van is either a totally sensible mode of transportation or completely batshit insane, especially if you plan on driving this beast on the interstate. Don't do that. Let's walk through the Sambar Dias II with Japanese automobile expert Aaron Ross of Bulldog Auto, Japan. Now we're looking at my Subaru Sambar DS, and I'm here with my good friend Aaron Ross, who is the man responsible for bringing this thing into the country. Aaron, why don't you tell everyone real quick about what you do? You're a really interesting guy, very talented.
I mean, other than the standard, long walks on the beach and beautiful kittens and puppies.
Of course.
My main thing that I've been doing for a long time, I've lived in Japan since 2006, and I've been exporting cars all around the world, nearly as around the same length of time. And essentially what I do is I'm a buyer's agent for buyers all around the world, and I help people secure automobiles in the Japanese market, whether it be things like this or rare European types, campers, everything in between.
Over the years, how many cars do you think you bought?
Thousands. I don't know exactly, probably 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 if I had to just rough guess.
You go to the auction house and you're there just bidding on what they sell, like 10,000 cars a day or something in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably 120 different auctions across Japan. They run basically Monday through Saturday. Some of the biggest auctions can range upwards of 17, 18, sometimes 20,000 cars depending on the auction. They're all auctioned same day, sometimes 12 at a time. It's pretty fast-paced, chaotic business.
If I want to buy a car from Japan, I want to go through you, how do I get in touch with you?
You can reach me. I have my own business at bulldogautojapan.com, and we can go through some of the procedural things, how the process works, figure out what you're looking for.
But it's that easy. Somebody reaches out to you, they want something, it's in the Japanese market. It could take time, but it'll show up, and you can help them get it.
That's exactly right. I mean, the more specific of a product you want, the cleaner, special color, it can be a little bit more time consuming, but it really just depends. The right unit could come up tomorrow. It might come up in 2 months. It depends on a little bit of luck and some other factors.
Now let's talk about the Sambar. This is perhaps the most fun vehicle I've ever driven in my life. What is a Kei van?
We have to kind of go back to post-World War II Japan. There was a big demand for automobiles and things like that, but a lot of people didn't have money, so they couldn't afford regular full-size vehicles. So they started what they call Keiji Dosha, which means light duty vehicle, light automobile, to make it cost affordable for people looking to get into cars.
Hey.
Are you James from Grindr? Originally, they were using very small engines, 100, 150 cc's. Then they had limits of like 360, I believe. Then it went to 550. And then post 1990, which still to this day is they have a 660 cc limit. And they have vans just like this. They have little sports cars. They have little pickup trucks. It's a whole kind of unique class of vehicle. And they're pretty fun and pretty cool. It's more affordable for insurance purposes, for registration purposes. This one here is the Sambar Dias II, 660cc, as James said. It's got the supercharger. This particular model has the twin sunroofs, high on style, sophistication. I mean, it really is
a good looking car. It drips.
It makes people moist.
We ended up picking this thing up for, I want to say it was about $9,000. You probably don't remember, but I think it ended up being about $9,000, and I'm happy with that. So I think this is a really neat vehicle. Why don't we do a little walk around? We can have a little look at the features.
Let's have a look-see.
Yeah. Oh, it's locked. And what do you think of these, by the way? I mean, personally, what's your opinion of the Sambar?
I think they're really cool. I think, you know, just like any vehicle, it depends on your purpose. You know, if you're doing a lot of interstate driving or something like that, it's probably not the most practical for that. But for where we're at right now in a beach town or a community with, you know, lower speed limits or in the city or something like that, I think they're a great option.
Dude, I just want to flex on my buddies. I mean, can I do that with this?
I definitely think you can. You can fit a lot of cheerleaders in the back.
For sure. No, it actually is quite spacious because of the design, right? So the engine is right here under this little panel. I mean, this is that's the hood.
So the Subaru is a little bit different than some of the other the Kei cars, where it has a 4-cylinder engine, and it's in the very back. Some are mid-engine, but this one's in the very back. This is, they call it the Clover series engine, and that's it. Pretty cool little machine. Fuel injected on this one as well, and very easy access to to maintenance, your spark plugs and all that are right there. The oil fill, oil cap, coolant reservoir bottle. It's all just right there, right in the back.
And then I like the windshield right there, like the windshield wiper fluid is above the left tail light.
Yep.
And then I think it's the antifreeze maybe?
Yeah, this is the coolant.
Yeah.
This is your radiator cap essentially, because the engine's back here. Lots of room in the back here. And they got, all of them, most of the vans have high roofs on them, so you can really fit a lot of cargo in here. Both dual sliding doors on these. And the coolest, cutest little captain's chairs that you've ever seen. And they fold down for additional storage space, and that'll fold up as well. You take the headrests off of it. Armrests, which are pretty cool. Cup holders for your non-alcoholic drinks while you're on the road.
Of course. No soju.
No soju. One of the nicest features of this particular example is it has the twin sunroofs. And we can open that up right here. This particular example obviously only has just over 16,000 kilometers on it. And it really, really does show that the seats are in immaculate condition. The armrests, where sometimes you get extra wear patterns, are super, super clean. Up in the front here, the steering wheel still has the texture and everything on it, just almost like the day it came off the showroom floor. Shift lever, same thing. But a couple extra little important details a lot of people overlook are the pedals. These are things that are very, very easy to tell. You'll have paint worn off the levers and things like that. This one is really, really in beautiful shape. The carpet, free of tears, free of stains. It's just a gorgeous example.
Those little rings right there in the cup holder, in my mind, that's like for your Boss coffee.
That's exactly right. In Japan, they have these skinny, kind of tall little coffee cans that you can get out of the vending machines in the stores, and they fit there perfectly. It won't fall down and spill your beloved Suntory Boss, the boss of them all.
Oh, dude, I love the Boss coffee. That was one of the best things, I think, from 100 yen, like 70 cents. And it comes in this little can, and it's delightful. I think it's delicious.
Yeah, the Japanese vending machine game is on a completely different level.
Different level.
Corn soup, panties, beer.
Yeah, whatever. The corn soup, I'm not going to do that.
Whatever
I'll buy
Whatever
the
heart
panties.
desires.
I'll buy the panties. I'm not going to buy the corn soup. I'll tell you that much. It's disgusting.
Man has to draw the line somewhere. Cutest horn in the game.
Well, Aaron, thanks for giving us the walkthrough of the Sambar. It's beautiful. It's fun. Absolutely love it. Like you said, perfect for the beach.
For the usage you have in mind for it, it's perfect. For the beach, it's awesome, man. You know?
It is.
It really is. For out here, it's a perfect vehicle.
It's not like a good driving car. I won't say that. But it's not bad either. Would you agree with that, Aaron?
Well, I mean, obviously it's very short and it's very light, so you kind of get moved around a lot, but it's pretty analog, you know? It's almost like driving a big go-kart with air conditioning, sort of.
Whether you like it or not, everybody does stop and look. And you get those people who will also ask you, like, what in the hell is that? But
yeah, you got weird faces pointing, little kids drooling.
Down here, taking some pictures of it today, and the maintenance man at my condo complex comes up, and he's like, all right, you know, what the hell is this? And that's what everybody always says. They're like, all right, man, what in the hell is this? It's just fun. Like, it's fun. And it's fun to talk about, and it's not that expensive, and it's unique. Perfect for the beach, perfect for a place like this. Woo, go for that. Everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you have a car that you want me to do a video on, reach out to me, james@tfb.tv. Notice I didn't say .com, james@tfb.tv. I'm going to do more car content on this channel, unless this video gets like 6,000 views and was a total waste of my time. But I had fun making it. I had fun talking with you about it, and that's all that matters. Take care.
It's like a protocol. It's a thing we do.